hello, and welcome to Anything That Matters. Hey there, I'm Kat Mak, and I have Dorela. Can you please pronounce your surname because I got it wrong? My bad.
Dorela Iepan. In Romanian, it is Dorela Iepan.
Dorela Iepan. Wow,
Yes.
that's so cool. I am so honored to have you on the show, and I do understand it's like crazy hours in France because I believe you live in France now. So I'm going to ask you about your history in just a second. So therefore, for you being a live wire so late at night, thank you. However, this is the power of connections and what we do around the world. So when you have women that are willing and ready to make an impact because they have something that they believe in and they're just going to go for it in their mind, in their heart, and their soul to make an impact, to make a difference in the world, you're going to go, you know what? I'm going to do what I have to do to be able to get my message across. And I am one of these women, and so are you. And in this dragon group that we are involved in, we all have that magic. So on that note, Dorela, that sounds beautiful.
Italian.
Share with us a little bit about your history. So you're from originally Romania?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I feel so little because all of this happens in Europe, and this is so interesting because there are so many languages in this little continent. And when I look at the world and I'm like, oh my God, why don't they have just one language? Because you have the whole North America, the whole in India also they have many languages, but it's like there are so many languages in such a small part of the world. So I'm Romanian, and I had a good life in Romania, but I was like getting out of bad romance, and I said, I cannot longer live in this country. This is so weird. Just to stop from this and to feel that you have to go out somewhere else. And when I took that decision, I met my husband, and it was something really, really incredible, like praying whatever you want, universe, God, divinity, energy, something. And I said, I will go on the path that you open to me. And there is this guy, he says, come here, I will help you. And he's also Romanian. And I'm like, okay, God, I said that I will walk on the path that you open. So we didn't know each other before, and I moved to France back in 2010. And I moved to France. I restarted learning the language because I had learned it in school, but I took a break of a few years, and I had to relearn everything. But it was easy because back in the mind there was something.
That is
And
so cool. Je parle français, mais jusqu'à peu, which
this is
means
perfect.
I,
Yeah.
I, I, I talk a little bit of French. I did the same.
Yes.
Uh, and I was fascinated with the fact that, I love hearing everyone's stories. They go from here and they go to there, and why are they doing what they're doing today, which we're going to touch on in a second, because what you do is super cool. And I kind of get the gist why you're doing what you're doing. I think as Lady Gaga said, in a bad romance, stuck in a bad romance. It's that song, right?
Mm.
So like you, I studied French in school, and I wanted to meet a French man and marry a French man. That was my dream. That didn't happen. My first love, however, was a French man. The guy that broke my heart was a French man. The guy that molded me was a French man. Australian French. I'm for those that don't know me, I'm from Melbourne, Australia, as you can tell by the accent, from way down under here in Melbourne. So on that note, So you moved, and that's a real ballsy move. Okay, Australian slang, and I will talk slow. Australian slang for you have guts to move countries because you're like, you know what? I'm over it. I'm walking to another country. Like, the only people I know that do that, my parents did that because I am first generation Greek Australian. So my parents came in the 50s. So, and they're from Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a real ballsy move. But you did it because energy flew you there and you met a
Yes.
man, you fell in
Yes.
love, you married him. But
Mhm.
how did you become? Talk to us about the rest of the journey in a short snippet, because I know we're
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
targeted.
No, it will be really short because actually my husband is Romanian,
Yes.
and I said to myself I will never date a Romanian guy. But when I met him and the door was open and I said, okay, I said, well, he lives in France, so he must be different. Okay, so I
Clearly.
came here. It's really incredible. The story is really beautiful. But the thing is that not knowing how to deal with past emotions, energies, relationships, all the baggage that we receive from our parents, I got to a moment when I thought it was over. It was really, really sad for me because I said to myself, I want to love and be loved, and I don't feel I'm being loved in this relationship. And I told him, okay, this is over. COVID hit, and we couldn't go to marriage counseling. This is really incredible because this is the shift in my life.
Yeah.
He booked the session, and the lady said, okay, I cannot do it because COVID, stuff like that. And I said, if he did that, there is something still there. And I said, I have to do one more thing. I don't know what that thing is. So once again, it's like, God, please tell me. And a friend of mine tells me to write a gratitude journal. And I start doing that. I start watching webinars, and I choose this program, how to attract abundance in these naughty times. It's something like that, a translation. It wasn't for relationships, but it was like, I feel this is the program I have to go into. And before the end of the program, we were making declarations. I love you. I love you. Let's give it another try. And we didn't know if it will work. It worked. So this was in 2020. So 10 years after that we met. We already had two beautiful children, and we are still very happily married.
That's fantastic. Like, good on you for during those trying times, because during those trying times, I'm talking COVID, right? There's always trying times. We know that.
Yeah.
However, during those times, which no one experienced what we did, there were so many relationships that broke down because communication was, and they are dealing with it now. There are so many relationships breaking right now. So, what you do in the world and sharing your craft from your past experience is very, very, very important. So, we need everyone in the world, a little bit of you, a little bit of Pam, a little bit of me, to be able to grow others, to be able to give ourselves what we need. So, congratulations to you for getting through, and your partner for being open enough to go, right, well, let's just give it another go, because you know what? It's been 10 years. Let's just see how, sometimes it doesn't work out. And I'm a product of that. But that's another time that I will just sit here live to share with you my story, because I'm a product of that as well, because you're a product of your own product, for your own, your past, your whatever. So you've decided, you got onto this webinar and thought, you know what, there's more out there, because your story is very similar to mine. I found the secret. And I'm like, what? The secret? The law of abundance? Why didn't I know this earlier? This resonates with me. Oh my God, I can do this stuff. I'm all about that anyway. I didn't even know it was a thing, but I felt it. I knew there was energy. So what then? You then, because I looked at your bio, and yes, we've talked online, and there are so many interesting things that you do. I mean, I wrote some of them down: emotion code, body code, EFT master. And I'm like, in Australia, do you know what EFT is? EFT in Australia is when you exchange, you pay by EFT.
No.
So that's
Yeah,
what, which I know it's not, but I'm like, EFT master, code practitioner, like you're an acclaimed speaker. There's so many things that you now do because of your pain. So what is it you do exactly? I want to know what an emotion code is. Like, I want to know because it interests me.
and you don't know that. I'm happy to share. So I do energy healing, and I've always knew I will do this. I always knew, and lots of time I said I cannot do this. It was like, this is not possible for things to be so easy. The EFT is this tapping on the meridian points while saying things, and it goes deep, it's powerful. So restarting this new relationship with my husband wasn't us both working on the relationship. I worked on myself, and everything shifted because I transformed from that I would say ugly wife that wasn't satisfied with anything. I started to feel love for him. And when I opened my heart, he opened his heart. So what happened? We are impacted by our beliefs and our emotions. And I discovered the secret back in 2007. This didn't kept me from almost ruining my marriage, so knowing things won't make the deal. You really have to work to dive deep in everything that you do. So I knew the secret, I was in love with that, but there was something missing. And since we talked about the secret, I really need to share something with you because I find it so powerful, and I need something to explain it. Did you ever say you want what's aligned with you?
Yes.
Okay. The thing is that you can only have what's aligned with you. You cannot have something that's not aligned with you. And I have the magnet because I work with the magnet. I can have this because it's aligned. It's attracted by the magnet. I cannot put this on the magnet. It will fall. It cannot stay. And this was part of the missing piece that I
Can you
had.
do that again?
Yes. Wow, you like it?
I just need to see it again.
So this cannot come there because it's not aligned. This will stay.
Well, isn't that interesting? Yeah. And a lot of us, I'm guilty, we're all guilty of doing things that don't align with is it our gut or is it our brain? It's our gut.
Don't feel guilty about that. Don't feel guilty, because the thing is that on a conscious level, you know exactly what you want. If you cannot have what you want, basically you attract what's aligned with you. Now you know there is an inner work to be done. Basically, we already know all is energy. It is scientifically proved. And because everything is energy, if we cannot process our emotions, for instance, anger, we didn't process the anger, and the emotion of anger has a specific energy that is trapped in the body. my body is energy. So with that energy in the body, it's a mixture that will attract experiences where I feel anger, where people make me angry, and it's happening more and more. And it's like re-incrementing what you have as trapped emotions.
So I'm going to pause you just there. So I'm feeling anger. I'm feeling the emotions of angry. I'm an angry bird, just like the game. Give me one tip that I can now take away for those that are feeling anger right now. What is one thing that I can do to release that somewhat? Because I know that that will probably be the start of your inner work that you need to do. So what would be one tip you could give?
There is
a barrage of stuff, but simple, because I'm thinking myself when I get frustrated.
Can you stand up, Pam? If you can also stand up, we will do
I can't talk if I'm sitting down, so I'm standing. That's my
I love it. So just put your hand, put your foot straight. Take a deep breath. Relax yourself. We will do a muscle test together. So just let your body feel your body and just say yes, 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 and see if your body moves forward or something, if you feel some move in your body.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh, wow.
Okay. Perfect. Now stand still and now say no, 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 no.
No, 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 no. Oh, wow. I just went that way.
Okay.
I
now
have never done that before.
You put yourself back together and you say, my name is, and you say your name.
Okay, so my name is.
Kat.
Wow, my name is Kat, short for Katerina, Catherine. Oh, wow. That was interesting.
Okay.
I just
So you go. And now say, my name is Dorela, and see your body.
My name is your name? My name is
another name that is not yours.
Oh, okay. My name is Theodore.
Did you move backwards?
No, I stood still.
Okay, let your hands, okay. Take a deep breath and say once more, my name is Theodore.
My name is Theodore. Oh my God.
Okay.
That's magic.
Perfect. Okay. What? And now, is there a trapped emotion of anger that I can release now? Ask the question.
Is there a trapped emotion that I can release now?
Anger.
So is there, say it again, sorry.
Is there a trapped emotion of anger that I can release now?
Is there a trapped emotion of anger that I can release now? So did I. Oh my God, Pam.
I'm not angry. I must be very happy because I almost fell over backwards. There is no anger in me.
Okay.
A little bit. What does that mean?
Okay, that's a no. So the process is more complicated. It is not like just like that. But we will start looking for emotions. Let's check out another one. Is there another? Is there a trapped emotion? Oh my God, I have 4 languages here. Is there a trapped emotion of anxiety ready to be released now?
Is there a trapped emotion of anxiety ready to be released right now? Whoa!
Okay, let's look for another one.
Oh my God.
Is there a trapped emotion of rejection ready to be released right now?
Is there a trapped emotion of rejection ready to be released right now? No, I didn't move.
Yeah, on Pam, you had a clear move. So what we will do together for you, the no, you've seen the nose. So let's see what happens. So what we do, I told you about the magnet, but we can do it with our hands. And you rub your hands. This activates the magnet in your hand. And you think of this intention, I want to release this trapped emotion of rejection. And we swipe. This is the governing meridian. It starts up on the upper lip and it goes right on the head and it goes down on the spine. And we will swipe 3 times and you set this intention to release the trapped emotion. Let's do this together. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay.
I feel like I
And
want to
ask
vomit.
what?
I feel like I want to vomit.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so let your body there and ask the question, did I release the trapped emotion of rejection?
Did I release the trapped emotion of rejection? I went back. What does that mean?
So for Pam it was a yes, for you it was a no. So once again, rub your hands. Pam, for you it's okay, but you can do it if you feel that you want to release another one. And just think, put the intention, I release this trapped emotion of rejection.
I know you said 3, but I did 6 because I didn't do it properly.
Yeah, it's okay. Take a deep breath and once more. Did I release the trapped emotion of rejection? This is interesting. Let's ask the question differently. Is there a trapped emotion of rejection to be released?
Is there a trapped emotion of rejection to be released? No.
That's why you have the no. This is interesting. See,
Yeah.
so Pam had an Pam, if you want to share how it was for you.
What did it feel like, Pam?
Well, it's like, even if I didn't know what that emotion was caused by, oh, that's in there. And yay, it's gone now. You know, whatever it was, I can feel like, oh, well, that's gone. That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
Very interesting.
And so easy to do if you would just know what, I guess if you had a list of emotions you could go through and then just do it, test it, I guess.
So the process, it's not only that, anyone can buy the Emotion Code, the book written by Dr. Bradley Nelson. This is how I started. This is how everyone starts, because there are only 60 emotions. We don't have to find the, I don't know, millions of names. No, there are 60 emotions in this chart that I also use. And by starting with that simple thing, you just test like this. The process with me, it's not only that, but you said
Sure.
there a takeaway. Yes, you can muscle test. Is there an emotion? Can I release this trapped emotion? And this is the thing. Sometimes we think of what happened, sometimes we don't. But if the subconscious mind told you you can release it, you released it.
Okay. See, it's a simple, it's your version of the release is so simple. And that is the beauty, because we have such a fast, everything is so fast that we become overwhelmed. And overwhelming for me means I will stop myself in my tracks. Now, I teach women how to not become overwhelmed, because everybody wants to grow their business, their brand, and that's what I'm really good at. However, I love interviewing people as well, because I love to share. So it is very, very fascinating. Dorela.
Test something. So put yourself back up. Is there an emotion, a trapped emotion of overwhelm ready to be released right now?
Is there a trapped emotion of overwhelm ready to be released right now?
Okay.
No, a little bit of.
So for you, maybe there is more inner work to be done. Do we need to know more about this trapped emotion? Try this one.
Do we need to know more about this trapped emotion?
No. So see, for you, maybe
That is so
it's
cool.
you have the answers each time.
For those of the
It worked because I do have a lot going on, so I feel overwhelmed. But when you asked the second question, I was still, because I just know that right now what I'm doing, I have a lot of things to do, but I'm managing it. I'm in control. I've got a plan. And so I really don't have to address it. It's just that it's there.
Yeah. So it was a yes that you can release it?
That I didn't need to release it.
Oh,
I
okay.
just stood still. I didn't need to release it. That yes, I had, it almost was like I wanted to lean forward, but I didn't. Like, oh,
Okay.
am I being pulled? And then when you ask the second question, I didn't get pulled at all. And so
Yeah.
it was like, yes, that's what I took from that. It was like, yes, I have a lot going on. So it gets overwhelming, but I'm in control. With the second question was, no, I've got it handled. So
the power of
Yeah.
energy fascinates me like there's no tomorrow. The power of energy. I have a 20-year-old son, and I think I'm not sure if I share this, but when my son was 7, he's got this really cool intuition. He's older, wiser than his age, whatever, right? So I wanted him to know that we are an energy force because we feel it. He sees things that I've never taught him. He's never met his grandfather, yet he knows what he looks like. And he's told me things that his grandfather did that no one's told him. So I'm like, he needs to understand energy. So we would go to a shopping center close by and go to the 6th level, sit at the windows because we love tall buildings. And we would sit and I would say, Theodore, my son, which is why I said the name. I said, Theodore, let's look at the cars down on the ground. And there was a red light. I said, when they get to the red light, I want us to concentrate on the passenger seat and just let's both of us look at that one person and you tell me what happens. We would sit there and stare. And he go, Mummy, 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 they looked up. I go, isn't that a cool game? That is not a coincidence. So we would do that all the time. We would go down and go, let's look at that person who are we concentrating. And that person would look up and go, and we sometimes would wave. They're like crazy people looking down. What are they waving at me for? Whatever. Just to show him the power of energy. And I think, and please share with me very quickly, why do we block this stuff? Because this stuff is so beautiful. Because you talked about you touched on The Secret, and you said, cool, in 2007 I discovered The Secret, read the book, seen the movie, yada yada yada, and then you said, I know all this stuff, however we may not execute it. So why do we block it? Why do we block what we know is in our gut?
There is a beautiful story. This guy goes to the hair cutter dresser. I don't know how it's called.
Hairdresser.
Yeah, and he's like, there is no God. Why do you say that? Because so many things happen out in the world. And the hairdresser is like, oh, there are no hairdressers in the world. And he's like, why? I'm sitting here with you. Yeah, but there are so many people with bad haircuts. So the information is there, but we need to practice. I have worked with people, got to extremely high levels of excellence, honestly. If we don't work, it doesn't work. A friend of mine told me he likes my engagement in what I do, but not the fact that I have to do it on a daily, regular basis. And I asked him, did you take a shower today? He said, yes. Did you take a shower yesterday? Yes. Why did you take a shower today? Because you already took the shower yesterday. Why do you need to wash over and over again? Our inner body needs the same care that we have to take to our outer body.
Yes.
So this energy is like the dust. You clean up the dust, it's clean. You stop cleaning it, it will come back. So it's important to do a regular, even if it's not daily, I always tell people, take the amount of time that you have on a daily basis, and today you do the first thing on the list, tomorrow the second, then the third, and so on. So if you have 5 minutes a day, it's no excuse. Take those 5 minutes and use them. And then you will have 10, and then you will have half an hour or more. But if you don't start with something, you will never get to do anything.
That is so true. If you don't start with something, you'll never do anything. And sometimes, well, most of the times, we may have a plan, but we really don't know where we're going until we start. Sometimes it changes and it shifts, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
This is where, as women, and you know, to no disrespect to the males, this is where, as women, because our brains are wired so differently. Our brain, they say we use 10% of our brain. I think we spew forth and we use a lot more of our brain. And our brain goes like this. So sometimes we put ourselves in that position of overwhelm, because we even say the word overwhelmed to then give us the excuse to go, well, I'm overwhelmed, I'm not going to do it. Yet we do have the time. And it's exactly what you said. If we don't, I love the analogy of the shower. I'm going to use that, if you don't mind. If we don't, why do you bathe daily? Well, isn't that the same as putting 5 minutes into your business, into your brand, into yourself, to be able to do exactly what you need to do to better your world, their world, and the mission that we're all on? Because we are all on a mission. Everybody's how-to could be a little bit different, but ultimately, I believe, I could be wrong, that we're all on the same mission.
I believe that.
We all want love. We all want freedom. We all want to be happy, which is why we all connect in the interweb. This is no accident. What is happening right now is no accident. We asked for it because we said the secret, knowing things, which we know things, right? We're like, no, let's now start to execute it. And that is a really good analogy. 5 minutes a day of whatever it takes to be able to move forward. Because you're an energy healer, which I love your title, an energy healing, because that's what we do, relationship, emotional code. There's so many other things that I could break down with you. However, I won't right now. I would love to get you back on the hot seat to touch on something else, and probably next month. I'm happy to do it at another time, which will make it easier for you. And I thank you so much. So where can we find you? How can I get you? What do you have for me? How can I reach you? So I was stalking your YouTube page, right? And because I love languages, that's obvious. And or maybe it's not, but I do love languages. And that's what got me through my economics degree at uni, because I did French at university as well. Like I know how to read it. I understand it. But I can listen to it and I can understand a little bit. But that was way back. We're talking 1986, right? Anyway, so I love listening to other languages. And I was listening to your YouTube stuff. But I do believe you have stuff in English. Share with us where we can find you.
Well, the easiest way is on my website. It's dorelaiepan.com, and I have also the app. I think it's available everywhere because it got approved in the App Store, Google Play, Samsung, Huawei, Amazon. So
Oh,
basically, hopefully it's in multiple places. And in the app, so on the website, in the app, I have the book, The Perfect Relationship, in English, French, and Italian. And I have another website that is in Romanian for the Romanian community, where I have the app in the book in Romanian. I am on Facebook, everywhere. I
they're
am Dorela.
everywhere.
Yes, not everywhere, but yeah, in
You're in
many
enough
places.
places. So what we're
Yeah.
going to do is I'm going to drop, or you're probably going to, you're going to drop in the comments below, and I haven't actually seen if there's been any questions, but I can answer them later. Or perhaps let's just quickly get onto Facebook to see if anyone's made any comments. Not sure, I'm not going to do it now. Because we're time targeted, and I appreciate your time during this hour. However, we will drop in the comments below. I'd love to access your app and your book, which is quite interesting. Being a relationship coach, I as well. I have to say that's probably an area that I personally need help with. I'm okay with the business stuff. I've always been okay with the business stuff. That's easy to me. Building your brand and
Oh,
your business, I can do it in a heartbeat. That's easy. The relationship bit, I suck at. I suck at it bad for a lot of
so
reasons.
I
Uh,
am looking forward to start reading the book because it's life changing. It's not only the energy that I learned in 2020, it's also the diamond cutter system, the seeding system, and it's much more powerful on understanding how to apply this law of attraction, how you make it work every single time.
See, that's the key word. I know we're going over time, but you said every single time. The law
Yes.
of attraction 15 years ago, I wrote it down. I said, this is the man that I want. This is exactly what I want. Blah, 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 blah. And then I attracted him. And I'm like, he was right in my face, and I never saw it. But keeping it is the secret. That we
It's two things completely separate. So having the wish, it's one thing. Keeping the wish, it's the same thing with dieting. So getting to the right, it's one thing. Keeping it, it's the second thing, and it's a whole different story, and it will be for the next
Okay,
call.
cool. Thank you so much, Dorela. I so appreciate you. I love your energy. Thank you, Pam, for getting on. I so appreciate you all. Have an awesome morning, awesome afternoon, and I believe everyone's going to be having a 4 or 5 day break. So enjoy this time with your family, friends, and loved ones. And I appreciate you all. Ending it now. See you later. Bye.